Bond was such big news by the late 60s that it was paid the ultimate compliment, its very own spoof.
The true, one and only, original James Bond.
Hello, sailor.
Composing the title music for the first Casino Royale was Burt Bacharach. Playing the theme was Herb Alpert.
I called Burt and I said, well, how do you hear this? And so he sang the melody for me. He did, you know, kind of the things that I emulated on the trumpet. And we do the yep boo doo 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 boo doo boo doo 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 yep boo doo doo, and I started doing that on the trumpet.
It's fantastic.
You were taking a James Bond novel at that point and making it into a comedy.
You amuse me, Mr. Bond. I'm glad you're enjoying it.
I mean, it was Woody Allen and Peter Sellers, and you know, I mean, it was a total comedy.
Listen, you can't shoot me. I have a very low threshold of death.
But the comedy's spoof quickly turned into a comedy of errors.
If I may interrupt this flow of cliché.
Casino Royale is very much a curio in the Bond film canon. It's not official, and it had, I believe, 6 or 7 directors. I mean, it's an utter mess of a production.
Mr. Bond. Miss Mr. Bond.
Yes.
When we got to London with our songs, we found there was another director, another script, and everything we wrote did not fit. So we had to sit down and write a couple of more songs, which we did, one of them being The Look of Love.
The look of love is in your eyes.
Overlooked at the time of the film's release, Casino Royale's keynote song has gone on to become an easy listening classic.
The scene with Peter Sellers and Ursula Andress, when she's seducing him, you could not have found a better song, The Look of Love.
Hello.
Hello?
Dusty Springfield's voice is like, it's like fine whiskey. You know, it's got that great smoky thing to it. Maybe the sexiest song ever written.
It just felt chills going up and down my spine because she really got the song right. She was the perfect person for it. And she was just one of the great singers of our time.
That song works anywhere you put it, even in a complete piece of rubbish like Casino Royale.
James, I need you.
Yes. Well, I can understand that, my dear. I can understand that.
The song has had such a lasting appeal. It's just as popular today as the day we wrote it. In fact, maybe more popular. And so people who have forgotten about that particular film remember the song.
By 1979, Bond had already struck gold and diamonds with the musical combination of John Barry and Welsh diva Shirley Bassey. They met again for the 11th Bond film, Moonraker. But the recording of the theme was hurried. After an original song with Johnny Mathis was abandoned, John Barry and lyricist Hal David had just one weekend to write a replacement.
There was the feeling of, pressure to get it done. I thought it was good, but I didn't have enough time to feel 100% comfortable with it. And we recorded it, I think, the following day.
Just like the moon.
It was not really my song, it was Johnny's. But being my mate, I did it for John Barry, to help him out.
And for many people, the title itself was something of a mystery.
What do you know about Moonraker?
What I read in the newspapers, then.
I remember not knowing what Moonraker meant when I first heard the word. You know, I sort of had pictures of a man raking a moon.
What is a moonraker? It's the perennial Ian Fleming question.
I don't know.
It actually does mean gold prospector, apparently.
Even with the classic Barry-Bassey combo, Moonraker failed to make an impact. This was 1979, and the world had an acute case of disco fever.
At that time, people used to take any song. They'd take Ave Maria and put disco behind it. You know, I mean, everybody was dancing. And unless you could dance to it, they weren't into it.
Where are you? Why do you hide?
To appeal to the dancing masses, a different version of the song was played out on the end credits. Moonraker with a disco beat. But even this didn't lift the song's popularity.
I've never been so humiliated in my life.
I think perhaps this wasn't so successful commercially because it doesn't have the punch of Goldfinger. Moonraker is much more relaxed, it's much more introverted. It's actually quite sad, really. It's a wistful song, and so it doesn't have the immediate appeal, I think, of a gutsier Bond theme.
I think he's attempting re-entry, sir.